Can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Well, PACnet, we are in Asia. We are the leading service communication provider. We have extensive infrastructure ranging from submarine cable to data center, and we own an extensive IP network and IPVPN network.
Can you tell us a little bit about your company?
PACnet, we are the leading Asia service provider. We own extensive assets from layer 1 like subsea to IP and IPVPN. We own over 21 cable landing stations throughout Asia, and we have network connectivity back to the US as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about your network?
Obviously. We have a humble beginning. We started off about the 2000. We acquired the EAC network, and from that point onwards, we have been improving upon it and doing upgrades to it. In about the 2006 timeframe, we have included the C2C network to the EAC network. And since then, we have mashed the two networks together, and we're using extensively a lot of the Infinera technology like the DTN, and we put in 10 gigs technologies right there. And at the same time, we have extended our coverage from Asia to the US, and we built the Unity system or the EAC Pacific on top of our existing network. Now, we're not just a layer 1 player. We have actually built our IP network and our IPVPN network as well. And lately, we're going into data center co-location as the cloud computing is definitely picking up a lot of speed in the last couple of years. So we are really a full service solution provider to our customer in Asia.
Can you tell us a little bit about your network?
Absolutely. The PACnet actually have a humble beginning. We started off around the 2000 timeframe. We acquired the EAC network. Since then, we have added the C2C network to our topology. In about the 2006-2007 timeframe, we actually meshed the two networks together, and we deploy a lot of the Infinera DTN technologies. And obviously, we are on a 10G, and we are planning onto the 40 and 100 eventually. We are not just a layer 1 player. We have deployed our IP and our IPVPN network as well. In the last couple of years, we have converted a lot of our cable landing stations to data center. That's all because of the anticipations of the cloud computing, where both data center and bandwidth are both necessary in supporting such type of applications going forward. So we are a premier provider of service, bandwidth, and co-location to our customer in Asia.
What are the stresses that growth in demand is placing on your company?
Well, there are many challenges in running a network here, especially in Asia, because we're prone to seismic activities and things like that. And our customers are very, very demanding. They're giving us a lot of business, but at the same time, they demand a lot from us. Not just on the bandwidth in terms of our availability, but then they're looking at end-to-end quality of service, they're looking at resilience, they're looking at round-trip delay. So in running the network, it's no easy task. And thanks to the the Infinera technology, it has helped us out tremendously in the past couple of years.
What are the stresses that growth in demand is placing on your company?
Well, the challenges, there are plenty of challenges in running a network in Asia, especially a network like our size. My first principle, obviously, is to satisfy the customer's demand. And the customer's demands these days are a lot more challenging than before. Not only that they would like to have big bandwidth, they would like to have it in a quality manner. For example, we've got to make sure that there's resilience to the network, and they would love to see very strict quality of service that we can provide to them. In doing so, we have to come up with different technologies, and Infinera definitely helped me out in big time in the last couple of years in the way that we have deployed the network.
What are the stresses that growth in demand is placing on your company?
Well, running the network, the PACnet network, obviously is a high-stress job. There are plenty of challenges. The number one, obviously, is to satisfy our customers' requirements. And these days, the customers are giving us a lot of business, but then they are very demanding. Not only that they need high bandwidth, they're looking at resilience, they're looking at end-to-end quality of services. And we are fortunately able to fulfill all of them. And thanks to Infinera as well, a lot of that is based on the DTN technologies that we rolled out at the 10G level.
What's your overall impression of working with Infinera?
Well, I've worked with many vendors in my working life. And Infinera's experience is actually, it's very outstanding. And I'm very happy the way Infinera has supported PACnet throughout the years. We've gone through a lot of upgrades in the backhaul. And just this year, we have done a trial on the subsea product from Infinera. And the result is very positive.
What's your overall impression of working with Infinera?
Oh, I've worked with many vendors in my current job, and Infinera experience, it's very good. In fact, we have rolled out a number of nodes in the subsea network, in the backhaul side of things, and all the deployments are deployed in a very smooth manner. And this year, we have done a trial on the subsea for one of the segments, and we rolled out the subsea technologies from Infinera as well, and it's very successful.
What's your overall impression of working with Infinera?
Well, I've worked with many vendors in my current capacity, and the experience I have with Infinera, it's fantastic. We rolled out a number of nodes in the subsea and in the backhaul, in the EAC C2C network. They all went very smoothly. And this year, we have done a trial on the subsea on one of the segments, rolling out the DTN technology again, and the result is very positive.
What would you define as your Infinera experience and why?
Well, that's a good question. Normally, you find out the true color of your vendor in a stressful situation, and that's what happened to me back in 2011 with the Japan earthquake and the tsunami. Unfortunately, on the PACnet side, we do have a number of segments down, and we desperately need capacity to restore a lot of our traffic. And in fact, if I recall correctly, it's about 400 gig. Now, normally, in such a situation, you would have required at least a couple of months, 3 months to get everything deployed. But Infinera came to the help. We were able to actually have the system installed within less than 4 weeks time frame. And that's something that I definitely thank Infinera for the help in this particular event.
What would you define as your Infinera experience and why?
That's an interesting question. You define an experience when you are in a stressful situation. And that's what happened to PACnet back in 2011 when we had experienced the Japan tsunami and the earthquake. In PACnet, some of our segments went down, and we desperately need restoration capacity. At the time, if I recall correctly, we are short about 400 gig of capacity. Normally, in a normal upgrade, it would have taken easily 3 to 4 months. Infinera came to our assistance. We were able to put a team together collectively and basically completed the upgrade in less than 4 weeks time frame. Now, this is an experience that I will definitely remember for the rest of my working life.
How would you compare, what's the knowledge, experience, and responsiveness of the Infinera support organization?
Well, overall, my experience with Infinera is very positive. I find the Infinera team very knowledgeable and very responsive. At times, I do throw them some very tough demands, and I'm glad to say that all these demands are being fulfilled. As a network operator, the key thing is to make sure that the equipment they do work. And so far, my experience with the equipment is that they are very resilient and reliable.
What's the knowledge, experience, and responsiveness of the Infinera support organization?
Well, my experience with the Infinera team is very positive. I find the staff that supported me very knowledgeable within Infinera. And at times, I'll be throwing them tough questions and demand. And surprisingly, most of these demands are actually, I say all of them, are eventually fulfilled. At the same time, well, as a network operator, the key thing is the equipment, do they actually work? To my pleasant surprise, actually, all the gears that are being rolled out has been very successful and stable.
Can you comment on the PIC technology and PIC-based implementation? How does it help your network and business?
Well, I think the PIC technology is a key enabler for the 100 gig and the 500 gig, especially in the ultra long haul area. I look at the PIC as sort of like it's the evolution in the optical technology, just like the electronic stuff with the ASIC advancement.
Can you give us your comments on the PIC technology and how does this implementation help your network and business?
Well, I think the PIC technology is a key enabler for the 100 gig and the 500 gig, especially for the ultra long haul distance submarine cable systems. And I look at the PIC, it's sort of like the key evolutions in the optical technology.
Can you comment on the PIC technology and how does the PIC-based implementation help your network and business?
I think the PIC is a key enabling technology for the 100 gig and the 500 gig, especially for the ultra long haul systems. I look at the PIC as the evolution technology in the optical arena. Yeah.
In the recent 500 gig trial on DTN-X, using the flex coherent super channel?
Oh, we have a very successful trial with the Infinera DTN-X, the 500 gig flex coherent channel technology. We tested on one of our segments on C2C, and we successfully pumped over 3 terabits of capacity through it.
Can you comment on the recent 500 gig trial using flex coherent super channel technology?
Oh, we ran a very successful test with the Infinera DTN-X 500 gig flex coherent technology. And in fact, we put it through one of our segments in the C2C network, and we were able to pump over 3 terabits of capacity through that segment. And the result was very positive.